Sure, they say it's all about science, but there's definitely a strategic angle here too. Their Yellow River Station in Ny-Ålesund, set up in 2003, is a key part of China's Arctic game plan. Fast forward to 2023, and they've ramped things up, dropping acoustic buoys in the North Sea and sending 3 icebreakers, including the high-tech Xulong 2, into the region. But it's not just China. Russia and China are teaming up, particularly along the Northern Sea route, strengthening their Arctic ambitions. In fact, on August 4, 2023, a joint fleet of 11 Chinese and Russian naval vessels sailed near Alaska's Aleutian Islands, forcing the U.S. Navy to respond.
New military tensions between the U.S., China, and Russia, with the U.S. Navy sending destroyers to the coast of Alaska last week after nearly a dozen Russian and Chinese warships were spotted patrolling nearby international waters, very nearby.
So, are we looking at a new Arctic power duo? What's the bigger game here? Russia's Arctic ambitions are taking a hit as the war in Ukraine stretches its military thin. Elite Arctic forces, like the 80th, 200th Motorized Rifle Brigade and 61st Infantry Naval Brigade, are reporting heavy casualties, some units losing up to 40% of their personnel. And it's not just the soldiers. Russia's specialized Arctic gear is getting wrecked too. They've lost key equipment like the Tor M2DT air defense systems, GAZ 334420 Alut all-terrain vehicles, and DT-30 Vityaz transport vehicles. The Tor M2DT, designed specifically for those harsh Arctic conditions, has been hit hard by Ukrainian precision strikes, with at least 3 destroyed. And these things aren't cheap. Each one costs around $25 million. So, with their Arctic buildup getting hammered, how will Russia keep up in the race for Arctic dominance?
Well, after more than 2 years of war in Ukraine, speculation is rife on how much military hardware Russia still has at its disposal. More than 2,500 Russian tanks have been lost since the beginning of the conflict.
Even though Russia's taking hits in Ukraine, it's full steam ahead in the Arctic. Last year, Moscow scored a major victory after 2 decades of diplomatic moves and Arctic expeditions.